session with us in the Zing agency. I hope that you enjoyed the work with the global marketing, especially what we did with McDonald's. Several of you talked about how different the menus were and the toys and other things that McDonald's is doing to adapt their product to the needs and cultures of the countries they're working in. This week we're going to be taking a totally different look at how people buy what they buy. We'd like to think that we buy what we want because we're making our own decisions or because we're thinking for ourselves. But in reality, there are so many influences that touch on why we buy things, when we need them, and what makes us actually make those decisions. It's very complicated, and this is a challenging chapter, but really a lot of fun. So let's talk about a few of the things that you're going to be learning as you read your handbook. First of all, we'll find out that the process of the 5-step process. It combines first a need recognition. We realize that something isn't working, whether it be our car is broken down or we've been in a wreck and totaled it, the computer crashes, or something as simple as running out of milk or bread or toilet paper. There is an imbalance between the current state of affairs and what we want to be happening. So that's need recognition. We then go into an information search. Depending on what the product is, it may be simple, and we may just remember that we like fat-free milk, or we would like to pick up whole wheat bread. Next, we make a decision. We pull together a group of alternatives to look at. And again, if it's something totally simple, we don't really have a complicated process. But if it's something big or expensive, like which house to buy, or whether to buy a new car, or adopt a pet, it takes more time, and we have more involvement in the decision. Next, step 4, we make a purchase, or we make a purchase decision. Sometimes the decision is not to buy at all, and that's a valid decision. If we do purchase, we often have post-purchase behavior. We may have regret. Sometimes you know that as buyer's remorse. In marketing, we call it cognitive dissonance. You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you've lately made a bad decision and wish you could undo it? Sometimes the decision was not to purchase at all, and you have that same cognitive dissonance. There are quite a few I have a cat here on my desk. There are quite a few different influences on purchasing behavior, and you'll notice toward the second part of the book, this chapter, you'll find quite a few, and we're going to talk about those. First, cultural influences, the values we as a culture have, the social class we may be in, and even a subculture. For instance, if you're in a motorcycle gang or a motorcycle group, that's a subculture of the ordinary group. It's a group that operates and has a lot of shared values and also is inside the rest of the society. Second, social. Opinion leaders, people that we look up to or look down to. We may have people that we do not want to be like. We have reference groups, our friends, our family, people that we run with. We all know the terrible feeling of going to a party and being told it's a costume party and getting there and finding out you're the only person in costume. That risk that we have, that's one of the social factors. Do we want to buy something that's going to make us stand out or feel foolish? Next, our individual factors, our personality and our lifestyle, our age, and our family life cycle. Somebody who is single with no children, even if they're 60, may have more in common as far as purchasing and using items with someone who's 20 and no children. Or a grandmother who may be thinking she's looking at retirement may suddenly be rearing a grandchild and put herself back in that life cycle of soccer moms, PTA meetings, and that's going to have an enormous effect on our purchasing. Also, gender has an effect. It comes as no surprise that for the vast majority of us, women enjoy shopping and men do not. For most women, shopping can be recreation. Next are the psychological factors and influences on our behavior. How do we perceive things? How do we look at things? What motivates us? What have we learned or not learned? What are our beliefs and attitudes? what need are we trying to fill with this purchase? It's really complicated. It's interesting and fun. I think it'll make sense to you as you start looking at it and reading and talking with your fellow interns about what's going on. Our creative meeting, and I'm glad my cat Shadow has joined me here, we're going to be doing some pro bono work for the Humane Society. The Humane Society of Central Texas takes in thousands of animals every year. Their goal is to place as many of them in forever homes as possible. Some are sent to rescue, but unfortunately many are not. One of the biggest issues is trying to match people up with the correct animal. People come in and they say they may want a cute animal, not taking into consideration what kind of animal this is. It is an active dog that needs a lot of room to run. It won't fit in well with an apartment. Is it a dog that may be too hyperactive for a family with young children? One of the things they have at the Humane Society is a Meet Your Match, and I'll try to find that link and post it. But we're going to be giving them some advice on how they can work best with animals, would-be pet owners, to match the right pet with the right person. My cat Shadow is a good example. Shadow. Shadow came to me a couple of years ago. Her mother was going to a retirement home, and Shadow was going to have to come to the Humane Society because her mother could not take her, and Shadow's daughter is highly allergic to cats. So the scary thing was maybe Shadow would have to be sent away forever. But I was looking for an older cat, because I'm sort of old too. Shadow is 15. I was looking for an older cat, and this was just perfect for us. It took her a while because she had never been around dogs, and she was a little afraid, but she has fit right into our family. And she likes being in my office with me. And it was a great match, but we didn't really know. If you've adopted a pet from a Humane Society, would you share your experience with us and tell us some of the things that made you decide on that particular pet, and some of the things that maybe you ruled out? If you bought another purchase with a lot of time that you spent thinking about it and talking about it, would you let us know what went through your minds as you were making those decisions? So have a good week, and I will look forward to talking with you before too long. And see you later. Bye.